So welcome back. So what we're going to do today, we're going to have a look at just creating some pages. Now some of the techniques you find when you do this sort of thing you can use across the different resource types that you can put in Canvas. So this particular one, look, I just got a demonstration of about a common frog, right? So a bit of text in there, a bit of some sort of headings and bits and pieces like that, and a nice banner in there as well, and a little tiny little emoji as well. So I'll show you how to put those in as in the pages. Now you'll see when you do this course that it's pretty common throughout that I've got this theme, if you like, running right through it. So I've got a banner, I've got a textual kind of title banner thing in there as well. I've got some proper headings going off. I've got a bit of paragraphs and stuff like that, but you can put pictures and things like that in there as well. Not a problem. So let's show you how to create that. Once you get this top part in, so a banner like that, something like that, the top part of this coloured box, then really you can kind of repeat that all the way down the page. You can just grab hold of that top part. That's all I did for the rest of this course. I just created myself some banners and then just changed that and this bit. So once I got that in, there was like, now I don't like to create Canvas pages with columns. I think it's silly. I don't see the point of creating columns because Canvas has 3 anyway. 1, 2 and 3. Now sometimes it has 4. If you go back to the home page, it has another one sitting on the corner here. So you putting another column in there, it's starting to get a bit crazy going off in one of these pages. So let's look at how we create this bits and pieces. So we would have, if I just look back at my page list here, my how-tos, you should have really gone through some of these bits and pieces. So have a look to see how you put things in using the rich text editor. You'll pick bits up in this one anyway. We're going to use the modules page just to create the page shell, right? And then we're going to go through into creating pages. So, but some of these techniques, you can create the first part that I do with that coloured banner and all the rest of it. You can add them into discussions, you can add them into announcements, you can add them into assessments as well. So you can do various different bits and pieces. Right, so let's go back to the frog. So let's first off create a blank page that we can put this into. So I'm going to go back to my modules page. I'm going to go right down to the bottom. This is that page that you just saw me demonstrating just then. So I'm going to create myself a nice page. Now I've got a bit of dummy text just on a monitor to the side. So if you see it pull in occasionally, it's just because I've got some placeholder text just for the demonstration purposes. I would expect you to have some text from your lesson material to go into these pages, right? So we're going to go page, we're going to go create page. So page, create page, and then I can give it a title. Now I'm going to go to my little notepad I got here. So what the kind looks like, that's what I'm going to call it. We'll call it this one, right? And it'll be similar. I'm going to create that frog one again. So let's just add an item. So that's this one here. So I've created that. If I go inside that, there's nothing in it. I'm free to start editing bits and pieces in here. Now, let's look at the banner first, right? So let's put the banner in, right? Where can we get one of those from? Well, there's various different places you can get those from. You could go to Canva, so you could go canva.com. You could then create an account. It'll ask you to create an account. This one, my other account's already in there, and I could create then maybe a presentation or an infographic, and then just crop it down later. So that's a good resource thing. And if you look here, look, that's where I created my little Canvas bits and pieces there. So bits of things going on. You can do all various weird and wonderful things in here. So that's a good thing to explore. Now I'm not going to go through that. Maybe I'll do that one in another tutorial. I'm going to go to Adobe Firefly. So if you don't know what that is, it's part of the Adobe package. Is it? Don't know. Maybe it's not. But anyway, you can create your account using your ARU account, and it should let you in here. Now this is an AI text generation software, right? So if I want to create something around a common frog, I can type that in there and I can get it to generate it for me. And these are AI generated images, and it's going through. Oh, say it's going through. It's actually not doing anything right now. It's going to do it now though. Not sure what was going on there. We'll get it to go through, and we're going to just do common frog. You can change prompts, whatever you want to do. You can do engineering drawings or environment sort of scenes and things like that, and it will take a couple of minutes and it will generate you something like this. Right now, wrong dimensions for a banner for a start, so let's change it to widescreen. And then what you can do down, I'm going to do art. I'm going to go look down the page, and I'm going to maybe do, I'm going to do bokeh effect. Gives you those light sort of blips that's behind a subject. And then I'm going to generate again. There we go. Come on, hurry up. Get it to do what it wants. There we go. So we can grab one of these, and we've got these little bokeh things, right? So if we open them up, this is AI generated, right? So what I can do then, I can take that if I really want to. I'm going to star that for now, and I can take that and I can download that, right? And then it will download that, and it will say, okay, we're going to put in some content credentials in there so people know it's generated by AI. We'll just go through, fine, happy days, right? Now I've got that, that's cool. But what I sometimes do here is I open up my snipping tool. Now I've simply just hit my Windows key on my keyboard and then typed in SM, and it's brought that up. And that's my snipping tool, and then it's going to give me an opportunity to grab something similar dimensions to those ones that we saw just a minute ago. There we go, like that. And then I can pretty much grab that and put that in. So I'll just copy that and then put that into my, where are we gone? There we go. So if we go to edit, I can pretty much paste that in there. So there's a banner like so. This one's slightly taller than the other ones, but that's fine. I can deal with that. All right. Now I've just put my cursor here. So now what we could do is, we could add in some text like so. What do common frogs look like? Okay, cool. Now it might well be that we want to turn that into a heading, because that's a good practice to do that. I'm going to make it bold, and that will be me done. So cool. Now let's grab some more text that I can put into the page. So I don't need the top bit, and we can do this, and we can go here, and I'm just going to paste that in. So we've got a bit there now. We've got what common frogs eat down there. So let's give that a bit more of a space to behave. Let's go and give that a bit of a smaller heading, because that's what I want to do. There we go, we've got a smaller heading there. Let's make this bold as well. So what you want to do when you look at your HTML, don't just resize parts of this because these ones are bigger or smaller. Do it because create your headings and give heading tags to this set because they are headings, right? Paragraphs and things like that. So what you can do, you can highlight them and make them bigger via that button, but don't just make them bigger because you've highlighted and you know that headings are bigger, right? That's not cool, because screen readers don't like that at all. Cool, so let's save this and see what it looks like. So it looks like that. Dead simple, right? So I've just gone and got a banner out of Firefly. You choose to get your images wherever you feel the need to get them from, as long as they're not copyright and you don't break copyright infringement. Job done. Right, now look at this little red thing here. Look. So that's telling me my accessibility score's low. Now I could go to accessibility report and check it in there, but you don't need to. You can see it there, right? Now if I go edit, and I click on that banner and go image options, this is basically what it's moaning about. It's moaning because it hasn't got a suitable alt text for screen readers to be able to read. Now, what I could do is I could say an image of a common frog, and that will probably suffice. Or I could go decorative image, and I wouldn't have to worry about that, but it needs to be a decorative image, right? Something that a screen reader doesn't care about and it won't bother reading it. Now, one thing I do is I change that to percentage 100%, and then that lets that banner span across as the pages start to change size, right? So I'm going to go done again, and I'm going to go save. And what the only difference there is you'll see the little green little accessibility score will be perfect. That's cool, right? We like that. So let's go back into the frog demonstration. So we've got this banner and we've got this stuff going off here, right? Now, really, to be able to do that, you need to be able to edit the HTML around this sort of stuff, right? To be able to edit this that's going off. So what I'll do in the description though of this video is I'll give you some HTML to be able to color that banner, that's that, and make that so it's right the way across, because you have to know how to do that, and I'll give you it for this particular part of the page as well. So, but what that does look like, to be fair, it looks like this stuff. So what I do when I create these pages, I've created them over and over again, exactly the same. So I know all I have to do is grab those first few lines, or I can duplicate my page, which I'll show you in a second, and then I just carry on editing it along. So I've just grabbed those first few lines, and I just have to take a mental note of that one there at the bottom, which is the end of all of this stuff. So you just have to take a mental note of that. Right, pause the video, take a mental note of that, take those few, 5 lines, it says there's 3 because there's no line breaks in there, and then just cancel that down, go to your new page that you've just created, flick it over to HTML view. Now, to be fair, I can just remove all of that banner. Alright, I've just made it. Right, there you go, and I've pasted that back in, and I'm going to put that at the end. Now if I flick that over, what I'm going to find is my frog one will be created, but it'll be using my old banner, and it'll be this as well. So let's change that to suit that. So what we can do is, and I find this actually easier to just write it in, what do common frogs look like so. Correct any spelling that may occur. Now if you haven't got one of those emojis and you want one in, give it a bit of space like that, right click, emoji, and then find the one that suits. So you could just go frog. Oh look, there he is, and we put him in. Now that's just text. That's just a special textual character. So I can make that tiny, or I can make that big. Keep it in line with whatever might well be. So I think it was 24 originally. Yeah, it looks it. And then this banner isn't the one that I created in Firefly. So this one's a bit more, it's not as saturated as that other one. He's pointing the other way. So what I can do, let's go back to the right one. I can simply delete that. And then what I can do, because I copied that into that HTML editor, this one, the rich text editor, it's stored in my files area. So all I have to do is delete it, and then I go and find my new one. So if I go course images, what I'll find is, I'll find it there. So I can click that, and there he is. Right, now you just got to go through those hoops again in terms of image options, common frog, and then I'm going to change my percentage to 100%. Done. Save. Page is completed. Happy days. So I've just shown you how to put a banner in and find out you can create one of those quickly. I've copied some HTML. Again, if you're not comfortable with that, I'll add that to this guide and the descriptions of where it needs to be, and then you're up to you to put content in here. So it should just be able to follow then. So once you get one of these pages set up and you get the banners in there and you want the banners to just repeat for whatever activity or resource, you've got it now. So you just spent a bit of time building it, now you're just editing text. So if I go back to my modules page where that page exists, which was right down the bottom as we know there, if I want to copy that for my next activity, so it might well be for, if I follow the Panda framework that we've got going through this courses, I could do it for the prepare, the activate, the navigate, the demonstrate. I could do it for all of those. So all I've got to do is just literally duplicate, and I've got another one going off, so I can then edit that, change my title. I can then go into that new one and simply edit away. I can edit that and just edit that text, and it will just carry on. I can just roll that resource. I've got a nice page template that I can just keep going and going and going. So that's how I created a page for this course. So you can see I just spent a bit of time, got myself some banners, and really you've seen those already. They've got those, another one of those Booker effects, and then I just created things. Now again, I'm in Canva, I've created some of the Canvas champions in there, so I've just spent a bit of time getting my assets really, and now I've got pages. So yeah, cool, there you go. That's how easy it is, right? So the hardest bit, the HTML bit in there, but I'll give you that, and you just got to paste it in the top every time. Okay, that one's done. Let's move on to the next one, whatever that one may be. Right, see you shortly.